Hey guys, welcome yet again. So, before anything, I'd just like to thank you all for all your support and all your great comments, man. They mean the world to me. You're keeping a girl going, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get notified each time I release an episode. So before I get into anything, let me tell you that this topic is gonna touch you in a way that you have not been touched before, okay? So let's get straight to the point. Today I want to talk about celibacy and abstinence, guys. So I know you might be hesitant towards even hearing me out, but hold on, hold your horses, guys. So what is celibacy first? So this is just the state of abstaining from sex till marriage, and it's like a voluntary vow of sexual abstinence, okay? So I came across a video of Megan Good and her husband on Oprah Winfrey's show, The Super Soul Sunday, and they were just talking about how they are practicing celibacy and how it really helped them in their relationship before they got married. I must admit, this is quite a hard thing to practice for any human because it's such a commitment, but for once, I really think that it might be a good thing. It might be a good thing. So I've been looking at all the benefits of such a life and such a practice, and so after soul searching and a lot of research, I really felt like sex actually gets in the way of really knowing each other for real. When I think of my past relationships, The Wait, it's actually called The Wait. They have a book out, actually. It's called The Wait. And The Wait was a no-no, Not for me, but for my partner. My partner was like, hey, why are we not having sex? They could never just seem to understand, the reason behind you choosing not to have sex, But let's look at the different forms of celibacy. Before anything, I want to tell you that celibacy looks different to each person. So there's no single way of practicing it, okay? There's no single way of doing it. There's no a step-by-step thing. This is actually very, very, it's personal, There's no step-by-step movement towards it. Some people just abstain from sex and sexual activities, including penetrative sex and non-penetrative sex, while others just engage in things like outer course. I know you're like, what is outer course? Yes, that's the question. Outer course is just an opinion for sexual activity, without just any intercourse. For some, it means it's everything except penetration, manzi. And for others, there's no penetration of any kind. This includes no fingers, no sex toys, no nothing. The rest I know, so I don't need to tell you. And some choose it as an alternative towards sex. And if you really, really think about it, it puts boundaries around any activity that can transmit STIs. Though, let me just say, that your personal meaning of outer course can be different. It just depends on your reason for trying it. So outer course includes things like kissing, massages, dry humping, mutual masturbation, which actually means you're actually masturbating together in one room. Masturbation actually doesn't have to be just with yourself. Solo masturbation is called that. So it doesn't have to be with yourself. You can do it with your partner, and some just include manual stimulation, sex toys. Just in some areas, people who practice outer course can actually use this stuff, okay? And now I know you might still be in shock. I know you might still be like, what am I talking about? But let me tell you that you have practiced celibacy at a point in your life, and you have survived. You have survived. But some of you might also be just against it completely. Let me tell you, my sound technician was just like, what type of topic is this? He gave me those eyes like, hey, wow, are you serious? Is this what we're going to be talking about? It didn't really sit well with him, but he felt like there's a really, really, really importance in just having sex in a relationship, but that's what I need to hear. I need to hear from you. I know you have facts too. So hit me up and tell me what you think about celibacy, and just share your thoughts on it, okay? I'll share them in my next podcast, I promise, okay? So please tell me what you think about it. And I want to just say that abstinence is not the same as celibacy. Due to some time frames, abstinence is for a period of time. You can say I'm going to be abstinent until I get married. Okay, that's a period of time. But for being celibate is actually for a long period of time, for long engaged periods of time. And some can actually even be celibate forever, for the rest of your life. Let me tell you all, first of all, being celibate doesn't mean that you're religious, atheist, it's all about your faith, or it doesn't mean that. Not everyone who is celibate is religious. There are so many reasons as to why one might just want to practice celibacy or abstinence. Some people practice it as a way to feel closer to their religion or their higher power, while just others practice it as a way to feel more empowered. It can also just help you move your attention away from relationships, oral sex, and allowing them just to focus on their personal development. When you don't have that time to keep looking at sex and oh my god, why are we not having sex? Oh, the sex was bad. All those, that's time consuming. And I feel like if you can use the same amount of time to better yourself and better your career, and you can just better a lot of things by actually just focusing less on sex. And for others, it could just be a medical decision, manze. Following, after you've just gone to the doctor, you've had, you have an STI that cannot be preventable or cannot be cured, you can actually just choose to be celibate or abstinent, just to prevent transmission. There are others who are sexually addicted, guys. Do you know that there are people who are actual sex addicts? Celibacy can just offer a way for them to just recover. So I know you're just wondering, hey, this is a lot to take in. But what are the benefits? And damn, I was surprised, just to be honest. But most of them, I bet or you already know, but I'll just tell you, I'll keep telling you. So for one, without sex, you have completely eradicated the risk of contracting any STI. Even pregnancy is simply off the table. So this is just a proper way of planning. It's a proper way of planning. And it also really helps you know your partner outside of a sexual activity. So if you're not practicing sex all the time, you're actually using more time to actually understand your partner, to know their benefits, or to know how do they actually really help you. Are they helping you? You'll keep giving more attention to those small details except sex, So you've removed the whole problem. There's a big problem with sex in relationships. So if you remove that, you get to actually see the person for who they are and just understand them fully without being in the sexual, because I find people having sex, after having sex, their problems are already eradicated, man. They call it the makeup sex, but it doesn't really work because the problem is still there. You've just simply covered it with sex, and that's why the problem won't go away until you actually solve it, guys. Sex is not the answer. Let me just tell you that sex is not the answer. So it also just gives you a sense of clarity. You start seeing your true self and your true partner. Plus, it also helps you just differentiate between physical and emotional attraction. There's a difference, guys. Physical is when you see a person and they're really, really handsome. Oh my God, they're really fine. They really dress well. When you're having sex, it's really good sex. That is physical. But emotionally, this can mean like, is he there when you need him emotionally? Okay. Is he taking care of your needs emotionally? This is not about physical. So it also frees up more time to focus on your career. As I said, you can focus more on your career, your friends, your family. It really changes your perception of life. And it also really saves you money. You know why? Because you stop spending money on contraceptives and condoms, and all forms of birth control. Yeah, it really, really helps you. But there are just a few downsides towards abstinence and celibacy. There are really few, guys. It's very challenging, that's one. It's really challenging, and that goes just without being said. Okay, that goes without being said. Because in a relationship, if your partner is celibate and you're not, you'll find ways of actually just bringing your physical desires, and this can just put pressure on your partner to engage in a sexual activity, because they feel like, if I don't do it, you'll cheat. If I don't do this, you'll go and have it with another lady. Or yani, patience is key in this thing. If you are patient, this will build your patience 2 to 3 times. You might also feel like, you're being judged. for your decision. But let me tell you guys, everyone has their own lives, everyone has their own beliefs, everyone has their own wants and needs, and we can't all be the same. So no judgment should be made here. You live your life, no one else will. So manze, do your research. Before anything, do your research and make a commitment and just set boundaries. Boundaries are not always just in sex or in your relationship. In your life, you should make boundaries, you should make goals, and write that down, because it will really help you to visualize it. Just let me tell you, if you're in a relationship, sex is just definitely not everything. And if you feel like it's everything, manze, you do have a problem, And if you can sacrifice something so important, if you feel sex is so important to you, if you can sacrifice something so important and be very patient, you can actually definitely find ways to be intimate. Other ways. It doesn't mean that you have to penetrate so that you are loving that person. You actually have to love them and really like them prior to sex. And remember that shit happens. It is just really out of your control. And so it's really crucial that you find out if you can live forever with just one person, with or without sex. Okay, you need to find out if I get an accident and I'm injured as a man down there, will my wife actually stay with me, or will she cheat and leave me? Those are the things that really are defined by just being celibate, being patient enough not to do or to have sex. So I might just try this for my sake and not for anyone's sake, because these days it's become a means of using each other, a means of actually gaining something for your sense. And for real, men actually really do anything. They can do and say anything just to get you in bed. They can really, really do anything, literally. So if you can actually take time to just be patient with me and stay with me until I am ready, that really shows that you don't actually want sex as much as you want me. I am the prize. Your partner is the prize, not the sex, okay? You need to understand that part. So I did invite you to share your comment, and don't forget to do so right down there. Let's continue these candid conversations and having all these intimate conversations, because they are needed, guys. They are needed. So I do invite you to please send me a DM on my Instagram at Anastasia.K.Mungai, and I'd love to hear from you. So I've been your host, Anastasia.K.Mungai, and join me next time.